is Emma and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a super exciting video. So today we're going to be talking about my top 10 favorite books of 2019. So these are ranked because I like putting myself into pain because I couldn't figure out which one to do. But I gave 12 books 5 stars in 2019, so I basically just had to cancel out 2 of those. So sorry to those 2. Love you still. But here are my top 10 books that I read in 2019. Starting at number 10, we have Book Love by Debbie Tung. So Book Love is a graphic novel about this bookworm and all of her like nerdiness, and she just talks about like going to the library, going to the bookstore, and it's just a super relatable, cute graphic novel. The illustration style is so adorable, and I actually screenshotted some of this book to possibly use as like a home screen on my phone. That's how much I liked it. So yeah, this is, I'm gonna show you a little bit better, but that's the illustration style. It's so cute, and it's not like the most like complex graphic novel. Like it's not trying to say anything like really like new, but for what it is, it was adorable and such a quick, cute read, and I loved it. So that's why I gave it 5 stars, and it's one of my favorites. I definitely want to get a copy of this one day and just look through those pictures every once in a while because I relate to this character so much. At number 9, we have Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. So this is a beautiful, like raw and impactful story about our main character, who I forget his name because I'm really bad with names, so my bad. But he has just had his older brother, I believe, shot, and so he is in this elevator on the way to get revenge and kill the person who killed his brother. And it's just the most beautiful story of him, and it's just when he's in this elevator, but the way that Jason Reynolds wrote this and the use of the prose was so amazing, and I definitely recommend the audiobook for this. It was super short. I think it was like an hour or 2 at the most, and it was just so great to hear the story from Jason, who wrote the book, telling us. It literally came off almost like slam poetry, like with the emotion behind everything he was saying, and it was just beautiful. Definitely recommend this book. It is like a hard read, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't read it, in my opinion. Coming in at the number 8 slot, we have Heartstopper by Alice Oseman, specifically Heartstopper Volume 2. And in 7th place, I'm just going to talk about them together, we have Heartstopper Volume 1. I just love these graphic novels. I hadn't read like a contemporary graphic novel before these, and they were just so sweet. So if you guys don't know what this is about, it's sort of summed up in 3 lines. Boy meets boy, boys become friends, boys fall in love. That's all you need to know. It's so cute. I actually read these for free on Tapas. You can also read them on Alice Oseman's Twitter for free, but I definitely want the physical copy and to be able to relive the story again. Pictures don't really show it, but the entire graphic novel is actually in like a grayscale, which was super cool, and it was just, the art style is adorable. Like Charlie and Nick are just so cute, and I love them so much. I also love how on Alice Oseman's Twitter she posts like little alternate reality timelines of like Charlie and Nick, and they're the cutest thing. Or like Charlie and Nick when they're like 40, and if you are not following Alice Oseman on Twitter, please do so because it's adorable. Coming in at number 6, we have The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. So this is a book that I actually read in November, and I really loved it. This is about our main character, Nathan? I'm horrible with character names. But basically, this dude is a professional baseball player, and he is trying to win back his wife, who basically told him that he's never pleased her in bed until like one night when that like he does, and she's like, and he's like, wait, what? And then yeah, I don't know, the dynamic between this relationship was just so cute, and it was so nice seeing a couple try to like stay together as opposed to what most romance books cover, which is like a new relationship. It was so cool to see this like pre-established relationship, but them like sort of starting fresh because of all of this stuff. And I forgot to say the main point. So when he is like, you know, she asked for a divorce and everything, he is like solemn and like, I just want you back and all this stuff. So his teammates and other like powerful and like rich people have this secret thing called the Bromance Book Club, where they read different romance novels, and in this case a historical romance novel, in order to save their relationships. So yeah, I just love the premise of this. Obviously it's super like unrealistic, and like there's a lot of feminist quotes that are coming out of these like burly guys' mouths, but like it doesn't need to be like super like realistic in my opinion. Like it is what it is. Like I don't know, just have fun with it, you know? So I love this, gave it 5 stars obviously, and yeah, definitely super excited for Undercover Bromance, is that what it's called? The second book that's coming out, I believe, in March. I'm so excited for that. So next we have another romance book, and that is Josh and Hazel's Guide to Not Dating by Christina Lauren. Thankfully I know the characters' names in this one because it's literally in the title. But in this story, we're following Josh and Hazel, and Hazel is just like this huge personality, and she's like, no one likes me because I'm just like too much. They're always telling me, Hazel, you're too much. And in college, she actually like embarrassed herself in front of Josh, and she was like, oh no, he's really cute, but like I just embarrassed myself, and like he's never gonna like me. But then it turns out that Hazel's best friend is actually Josh's sister, and they end up like reconnecting and becoming friends, and I feel like it's kind of obvious it's a romance book. It's a romance ensues. And it is just adorable. I love the dynamic between these two characters. They are so funny, and like, I don't know, just the way that their relationship was, like it literally was sending sparks off the paper. I loved it. This also had a favorite trope of mine, which I didn't know was a favorite trope of mine, which is taking care of like a sick, like one of them being sick and them taking care of the other one. Like it was just so cute, and I love this book so much. And yeah, it was just great. I really need to reread this again. I really want to. I definitely want my own copy. And this also introduced me to Christina Lauren, and I loved their books in 2019. I read so many. They were definitely my most read author. Okay, I was gonna say they're definitely my most read author, but that's actually Santa Claire. But they're my most read romance author, and I loved it. Coming in at number 4, we have a book that I actually own. Oh my gosh, I didn't own it when I read though, and that is Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I feel like I've talked about this book so much. This is also in my favorite series of 2019 videos, so I will link that above, but this is just so good. So this is a YA sci-fi novel that is the first in a trilogy, and we are following our main characters. I'm gonna look them up because I'm gonna forget. Oh, our main characters, Katie and Ezra, who have literally just broken up when their planet is attacked and they are forced to fight for their lives and flee on these different starships into space. So we're just following those crazy antics, them trying to figure out what's going on, how are we going to stay alive, and it's so good. This, again, was one of the first books, like first sci-fi books that I've read, and I just was instantly encaptured in this world. This is also written, I'm sure you guys all knew this is all written in mixed media format, so we have like ship schematics, we have instant messaging, we have like, I don't even know what else, surveillance footage. Like this is all in a file format, hence the Illuminated files. Smart. Yeah, this was just so good, and the romance definitely did not overtake the plot, and it really just added to the stakes, and it was just so great. This, like I said, it's on my favorite series. It's my favorite, one of my favorite books, and I'm definitely so happy I read this. I just wish I'd read it sooner and could have been along with the hype for everyone, but I also didn't have to wait, and I just binge read all of them. So I definitely want to get my hands on Memento at one point, which is like a novella in this series, but I don't know how. So if you know how to read that, if it's in a library, like let me know in the comments down below, because I don't want to leave this world. Coming at number 3, we have Second Chance Summer by Morgan Matson. So Morgan Matson is a very popular YA contemporary author, and I read one of her books in 2018, which was Since You've Been Gone, and then I read this and Amy Rogers' Epic Detour in 2019. This definitely being my favorite. So in this story, we're following our main character, Taylor Edwards, who has just found out that her father has cancer, and his last wish is for their family to all go to this lake house that they have and have one final summer there. And so this story is all about Taylor coming to terms with her grief about her father, while also coming to terms with her friends that she left behind at this lake house that she hasn't seen, and if they left on bad terms, her trying to fix it. And this story was just so beautiful. It was so raw and emotional, and I literally sobbed at this book, which is not something that I do normally. I don't remember the last time I cried at a book, so this really just held on to me. It's also almost 500 pages, which is really long for a YA contemporary, but I felt like that really had us connecting with all these characters, which led to it being more emotional, and these characters were just so fleshed out, and I just love this book. I definitely recommend it. As someone who also has a lake house, I could definitely relate to some of the things that they were saying, even though their lake area was very fancy and mine is not. But this was just amazing. I'm just like, I really want to read it again. All these books, I'm like, I just read them in 2019, but I already want to reread them. And that's how I knew they had to be on my favorite books of 2019. Coming in at number 2, we have A Million Junes by Emily Henry. There's actually a similar thing here because this story is following our main character, June, as she is still coming to terms with the loss of her father. And her house and where she lives is like very magical. This is a YA magical realism speculative contemporary, which is the first of any of like that genre that I've read. And the way that it was used to sort of show June going through her grief and all of that was just beautiful. There were so many quotes that I loved. You can't really see because of the light, but I tabbed it. And I just loved this book so much. There is also a romance plot with her and this guy from this other family that they're like not supposed to talk to. You're not supposed to be around. Whenever they're around each other, bad things happen. And it was just so good. And the writing in here was flowery without being like too flowery. Because I was worried about picking up speculative YA contemporary because I don't tend to love YA like flowery writing when it feels like you're just talking in circles and you're not actually talking about something. Whereas here I feel like the writing was so beautiful and really added to showing like the coming to terms with her grief and everything else that ensued. So I highly recommend this book. Do know, obviously, like I said, there is a trigger warning for parental loss and stuff, but it was just so beautiful. I really enjoyed this, and I really connected to June because of her coming to terms with her grief because of my grandparent who I lost. So yeah, this was just beautiful. Love it. And I'm so excited to read more from Emily Henry. I already have another book on my YA contemporary shelf that I definitely want to read by her. And we are down to my number 1 best book of 2019, which unfortunately I do not own yet, but I do want to, and that is Prince Charming by Rachel Hawkins. This is so cute. I'm so surprised by how much YA contemporary is on here though, because I always say YA fantasy is my favorite genre, but like clearly I love some YA contemporary. But in this book we are following our main character Daisy, whose sister is going to be marrying a Scottish prince. So it's all about Daisy like coming to terms with what that means for her and like going to Scotland and being around all these like royals and everything. And there is a really cute romance that ensues. And I just love Daisy as a character. I really love being inside her head. She is so funny and witty and just sarcastic, and it was just so great. And I also related to a lot because I am very sarcastic, and I just love her as a character so much. This romance was so adorable, and the end of this book was literally a John Hughes movie, and I love it. I really love John Hughes movies. I grew up watching 80s movies, and the end was just that. This is the book that I've been like wanting to pick up the most. I read this in like May, April, somewhere in the beginning half of the year, so I've been wanting to pick up this and read it again, which is very odd for me that I have so many books that I want to like pick up again. but I do, and I need to get this book. I have already read the sequel. It's up here somewhere. I got it in a Twitter giveaway, so I definitely hope that there is more in this series. I love Rachel Hawkins' writing for this series, and yeah, they're just so cute. So those were my top 10 books of 2019. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what your favorite book of 2019 is, because if I haven't read it, I definitely want to read it in 2020. I am hoping to start off the year strong. So yeah, I'll see you guys in another video soon. Bye!